Michelle.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Make it good. I am Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker, here with we're four of the fam five. I'm sure the other will join us shortly. I've got with me, because he worked so hard to be first in the room, Brian Smart, Mr. Content himself. Jay Pasqua, and Denise Spiller. We are ready to get this Focus Friday. My mom's already here, y'all. She said, Good morning. Good morning. Let's see.
Good morning.
Good morning.
They said, Good
Got
morning,
with
Buenos
mother.
dias.
Good morning, Mama J.
Up. Jay said, Good morning, Mama Jay. So we will be getting started in just a moment. On Focus Friday, we talk about focus and the importance of focus and the ability to focus, using focus as a tool to have the life that you desire. When you can pour all of you into anything, you exponentially increase the opportunity for you to have that thing. So we will go ahead. Welcome, Eric. We're going to go ahead and get started with the quote. And then I'll give my feedback, and then we'll go around the room and let each person let us know what's on their hearts this morning or how the quote affects them. And I'm actually going to step away in a few minutes, and let the fam take it because I need to go and manage something at the job. So our quote for the day is: the key to success is to focus our conscious mind on things we desire, not things we fear. Now if we were in church, that would definitely be an amen moment, right? The key
Amen.
to success is to focus our conscious mind on things we desire, not things we fear. And that was said by Brian Tracy. That is huge. Have a good day. Welcome. We're just getting started. I'm glad you got with us from the very beginning. So hopefully you heard the quote. It'll come back around, I'm sure, if you did not. But let me just tell you guys that spoke volumes to me when I saw it. And I was like, it couldn't be more perfect for Focus Friday. Because when we talk about focus, all we're saying is, where are you spending your resources? Where's your time? Where's your attention? What are you thinking about? What are you pouring yourself into? You have to grab hold, tap in, is what the Fam Five says all the time. Tap in and connect with yourself and be aware. Self awareness is so key. If you are aware of what's going on around you, you put yourself in the driver's seat. You give yourself the ability to make good decisions, good choices, and be in control of how things unfold. When we live our life on autopilot, we are just waiting and responding to what happens. When we tap in and we are self aware, we make good decisions to drive us to where it is that we're trying to go. So the key to success is to focus our conscious mind on things we desire, not things we fear. I want to thank Brian Tracy for that one because that hit home. Fear is huge in all of our lives. We all get there's something that everybody fears. There's no such thing as being fearless, and courage is not the opposite of fear. When you are being courageous, when you're taking big steps in your life, when you're doing the things that you need to do to create the life that you desire, it doesn't mean that you're without fear. It means that you're not letting fear in control. Fear is not controlling your responses and how you're moving through life. You push through. I was scared when I jumped out of a plane, but I did it anyway. I did it anyway because it was a break free moment for me. It was a moment where I wanted to prove to myself that no matter what was going on in the inside, no matter how my brain was spinning, that if I really decided to do something, I could overcome all of that and push forward. And because of that, I am forever a skydiver. I did it once, earned the title, got the t-shirt, and it was one of those moments. And y'all, that propelled me mentally beyond anything I could have ever imagined. I walked around for weeks and little stuff would happen. Things would crop up, distractions, obstacles, things. Life is going to keep lifing. And when things would happen, the first thing that would hit my mind, girl, you jumped out of a plane. If you can do that, this is nothing. Everything seemed so small. Everything seemed just like not a big deal. If you could jump out of a plane, you could absolutely handle whatever this thing is. And so it does it's not it doesn't you're not required, to go jump out of a plane to find your courage. But what is it that you need to break free of? What's something that really is holding you back? And usually it's in here. It's that voice within. You're going to hear me say it every time we're together. The voice within wins. What do you need to do to step through that thing that's holding you where you are? That's real courage. Facing that. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's your past. Sometimes it's a difficult situation or something that shame is still holding you down. Shame, oh my God. Shame is such a wasted emotion. We can't go back and relive. We can't change it, but we can face it. We can pull the lessons out of it. We can focus on what we learned from it, not focus on the experience itself or how it made us feel. Grab some lesson. Where's your resiliency? Where's your strength? What was the treasure in that terrible situation? Find that and focus on that and keep moving forward. So I'm going to pitch it to you first, Brian, and then I'll let you guys keep moving around the room.
No,
So I
no,
can.
let's stick with the order. I was just picking. Let's stick with the order so we can keep that going. I was just
I,
messing around.
I'm like,
Jay,
Jay, he's not going. He won, Eric. So let's make it known.
that's all I
Brian
want.
was the first person in the room. He didn't like where he was positioned.
Did you see
He
Jay?
didn't
Jay
like where
said,
he was positioned on the screen. So we still had an issue. But he was the first person in the room. So
Oh,
"Thank you, thank you."
He had an issue with being in the middle.
he got to have top billing, I think.
I
I
think.
think that's what it was.
I think
I
so
think.
too.
He was at the
Yeah.
bottom.
Jay, you
He was
gotta
at the
accept
bottom
it.
when you and Denise came in. Y'all pushed him up to the top. So I think y'all did him a solid and got him where he wanted to be.
Well, I'm gonna stick to the topic at hand. We're gonna focus, refocus.
Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what?
And
I,
can you
I'm. I,
and before we do before you go, Jay, just a reminder, we've got lots of you guys can y'all see the comments that are scrolling through? Good morning, Tara. I'm glad you made it. Can y'all see the comments? Can you, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
mm-mm,
Mm-hmm.
You can see them? I thought
I can see
I
them.
thought I gave you admin, Jay, so I thought you would be able to see the comments in as they stream through.
I don't. I'm
No, okay.
trying
Well,
to.
before I go, let me recognize the folks that I see
I
really
do, and
quickly.
I'll start reading them as well.
Okay, so I see
Oh, you
Tara.
must
Good
have done
morning.
something. Sorry, you must have done something. I can now see him like Selassie. That just popped up. It's new
Oh
on my
yeah,
screen.
yeah. You have the option to show. Yeah,
Okay.
I clicked on his message, and when I do that, they show up for a moment.
Oh, look at
Let's
that.
see. Hello, good afternoon from Europe, Germany. I can't see who you are, LinkedIn user from Europe, Germany. So drop your name as well so we can say hello. Good morning, Tara. Hey, Sonia. I knew you were out there somewhere. Good morning from PA, Beatrice. Let's see. Hello from Nigeria, Cynthia. Let's see. Very true. Self awareness cannot be overemphasized. I agree 100%. Tara's laughing at you, Brian, and your need to be top billing. Face the self talk is a real journey. It really is, Beatrice, and but I call it the journey of our lifetime. If we can deal with us and that internal messaging, however it got there, if we're willing to do that work, then everything else falls to the wayside. We can so much easier manage the external stuff when we've got our internal together. Tara said, you guys are great. Tara, you get a lot of credit for us coming together because you were giving Brian a hard time about getting on camera. I heard it and I invited him in, and he's been on every day since. And a couple of days, we were all here. And this is what you're going to see Tuesday through Friday. The Fam Five is going to show up together. So thank you for pushing Brian and helping me pull him out of his comfort zone and allowing him to bless even more people than he already was. Harry says, good day from Miami, Florida. Good day. Tara says she's proud of you, Brian. Muhammad, good evening from Afghanistan. Hello, Muhammad. Welcome. Deirdre says, I love the Fam Five. We love you right back, and we appreciate your support. We see you daily, Deirdre. And so we realize that you are a strong supporter, and we are so grateful. Toya, good morning. Medki, I saw you flash by on TikTok. So I know there's quite a few of you guys there as well. Chef Ray, thanks for liking the live. Everybody go ahead and share. If everybody would share it with just one more person, that would be wonderful. Good morning, Tyrone. Thank you so much. Glad to see you here. So I'm going to turn it over to the Fab Five, and I'm going to go handle some business. And Jay, you take it away. And hopefully I'll be back before we're completely done. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. See you later. Cassandra will go ahead and take over here. So I want to go ahead and start off with a Bible quote like I normally do. And it's it's one I think that makes sense to me. You know, if you're thinking about focus, a lot of people like to focus on other people when it comes to what other people have. So this one comes from Matthew chapter 7 verse 3. Why do you look at the speck that is in your brother's eye but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? And sometimes you're pointing out the missteps of your neighbors. Sometimes you're pointing out the things that the other person has as far as their faults. But you got to focus on yourself. You got to focus on what you can bring to the table, what value you bring to the table. And I think that's the better focus. Don't focus on your neighbor, focus on yourself. Um, the meaning of the word focus comes from the Latin word um, foci or foci, and basically it means fireplace or hearth, right? And if you're in the home, that is your focus, right? You're seeing that when as soon as you enter into the house, this is your focus. But it also means that this is your warmth. This is where you get the feeling of warmth, right? And I think that's important to understand because when you focus on yourself, that's a big old hug to yourself, right? You are making sure that you're taking care of yourself so that you can take care of others, right? We always hear the phrase, if you're in an airplane, they always tell you, make sure you put the mask on yourself if it drops down so that then you can help others with their mask or getting to their seat or anything like that, making sure that they sit down and put that seatbelt on and they're okay. So I think those are the things that come to mind for me this morning. And I hope that it helps you today as you go about your business. And I think I'll go ahead and pass it on over to Brian, the first man in the room this morning.
I appreciate you acknowledging my earliness this morning. Thank you, Jay. It's a grand day. Jay made a real good point about focusing on yourself, and I won't take up too much time. I feel like we're in church every time Jay speaks, Pastor Jay. Jay knows. We have to focus not only on ourselves and our actions, but in the words that we speak to ourselves, right? If you notice every day, the beginning of every day, I start the day with grand rising, right? And I start my day with waking up with gratitude and humility for another day. The reason I say grand rising is because when you say grand morning, morning is a sense of somberness and death and sadness. So I say grand rising because this is not a time to mourn, but a time to rejoice that you've got another day. The words that you speak to yourself are just as important as the actions that you take. And in fact, the words that you speak precede the actions that you take. So when you lead with positive words, positive affirmations every single day, every moment of the day, you set yourself up for success. And that's not to say that you're always going to get it right. That's not to say that you won't have moments where you want to, use a few expletives. But when you practice that, then you have a greater chance of reeling yourself back in when those times come in when you feel like you want to get down or you want to spaz out, like my daughter says, to get yourself back in line, get yourself back on track, and get back focused, right? On being positive, on being you, on supporting yourself. And when you support yourself, you will find that things that you need will come into play to support you. They'll be attracted to you. Kind of like the Fam Five. That's all I had to say this morning about focus. It starts with the words and the thoughts and the words, and then it leads to the actions.
Does that mean
Over to
I'm up,
you.
or is it Brother Eric?
No, I think
Well,
it's you, Denise.
well,
It's definitely
congratulations
you,
on being
sister.
focused, Brian, on being the first in the room. I see you.
Are y'all gonna keep saying that this morning?
Hey, we
Uh-huh.
celebrating it. You know, I gotta
We
say it at
celebrate.
least once. At least once. Anyway, I have to go back to what Cassandra said about not that shame is such a wasted emotion, but it don't mean it's not there. It really don't mean that it's not gonna show up and rear its ugly head, and it's got a real ugly head, and it stumps me. I'd say stumps me, kind of stumps my toe a little bit. I bump into it a couple times a week because I'm too focused before. I was too focused on my mistakes, too focused on the things that I didn't do right or didn't do correctly. And I really now I surround myself with positive people like you guys. I talk to positive people. If there's somebody that was in my life that's not, pouring in that, hey, give yourself some grace, hey, remind yourself of this, and I don't even bother because I have to first start with myself. And if I let those outside voices come in, I'm focused on the wrong thing. I'm focused on maybe what I did wrong last year instead of what I have ahead of me and what I can be focused on right now. So I appreciate that reminder because I do think that we could focus a little bit on the fear, but we don't even realize we're focused on fear. You don't realize you're looking at the fear of a situation instead of just moving forward. So I am really focused every day on waking up with the right mindset, thanking God for another day on this side of the grass, as you say, Brian. And I'm focused on who I surround myself with and how I talk to myself. And I'm embracing the challenge of changing that and not focusing on anything that happened yesterday, last month, last year. Just be focused on grinding, embracing that, moving forward, and staying as positive as possible. Constantly focusing on how I talk to myself. That's what's really important. I have to focus on how I talk to myself because that voice that's inside, if I'm like, oh, but remember I have to tell myself, nope. I literally say nope. I'll be like, nope, Denise, not today. We're not focused on that today. I say it out loud. I hear myself, you know. Sometimes you might think it's two people in the room. I talk to myself so much. On that note, I'm going to pass it to Brother Eric.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna keep it rolling because that's good. Yeah. Don't concern yourself about what the outside world thinks. If you need to speak to yourself, and when you need to speak to yourself, please be the one to tell yourself. Please, that's where you need to hear it from. And so, these techniques we're speaking of, as far as checking in with yourself, we say tapping in, um, surrounding yourself with your tribe. These are hugely successful. I found in my career that it's much more important who you know than what you know. So really tapping in and getting in alignment. I think that would be my word for Friday Focus is alignment. Find some alignment. Find where your grass is watered. Uh, and plant there and see what grows. Challenge yourself. Accept criticism. Accept criticism from those that love you because they're only trying to help you, right? If you feel defensiveness, ask yourself why you feel defensive. But the criticism, the support, the love that you're getting from those folks in your tribe, they're not trying to hurt you, right? That's those own self limiting beliefs and fear. But your family, like my Fab Five, I understand sometimes they may say some things that challenge me, but it's always to help me grow. So Friday Focus is, for me, definitely one of those times to be reflective on uh, maybe not the most joyous of times, right? When you are got to get that assignment done, have to make it happen, and you're struggling, or you're trying to figure out, or you've been up for 12 hours, 18 hours. There are going to be those days, but understand you've already won. Understand the race that you are breaking your back for. You already won. So when you need to take that nap, take that nap. When you need to give yourself some grace, give yourself some grace. Rome wasn't built today, but you are on your way.
Y'all better pick up the energy. You know, if Miss
Yeah.
Sandra was in the room, she'd be throwing up her cheerleader arms, talking about,
Right.
yes, yes.
Yeah, we
That's why
no, we
you're
definitely.
here, Denise. You're here to get us in line.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, where the energy? You know, you literally feel her energy. Not here. Y'all better pick up that energy. You know, little 5 0. She'd be like, yes, brother. Yes, brother.
Oh,
She keep it way up. She keep it way up. Like six
so
foot energy.
yeah, so let's just see what folks are saying. I actually do now see the admin rights, and as I'm looking at the screen, I'm seeing Harry. I think Harry is saying, well, let me take a look here. He says correct. He was talking about Brian and what he was saying. He says correct. It's why I say good day. Um, he said he never says good morning. Beatrice, she says self support starts with words and leads to action.
Yes.
Good stuff. Dr. Tara, she says yes, Denise.
Hey, Tira.
Yeah, and she
Thanks,
goes on
Dr.
to
Tara,
say
for the support.
words carry a vibration, and if they can change water, can you imagine what they can do to a human being? Absolutely. We
Absolutely.
are
Powerful.
made up of a lot of water, so if it
Yeah.
can impact water, absolutely it can impact us.
Very true.
Why you
And
always see me smiling?
e- exactly. Harry is also saying, I'm always looking for good advice while I speak to myself in the mirror.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
Absolutely.
That's a good one. I like that.
Absolutely. The
Um,
hardest things you have to tell yourself in the mirror, just to extend that. When you're looking in the mirror and having a conversation, no, that's going to be a difficult one. But stick there,
yeah,
stay right in it, because you need to hear what you're telling yourself.
I like that.
Mhm.
right.
Absolutely.
Deidre's she's got quotes here. She's got a quotation. Focus on how you talk to yourself. Huge mental note is what she's saying.
Mhm.
Good. That's good.
and,
I like
and
that.
and Dr. Tara is laughing. She says, "You all have that energy. Bring it."
Hmm.
Bring the energy. Bring
Yeah,
Yay.
There go Denise.
Hmm.
absolutely. And then Harry goes on to say, "We are all winners from birth. You won the
From birth.
million." And then, that thing that helps us become a person, cell race.
Right, right. And that's all Eric ever talks about. If you made
Ah,
it here, you're already winning. You're winning just by
Hmm.
being here. Every single moment of every day, you're a winner.
mm,
yeah. Do- Dr. Tara is actually the one in her room. We spoke about it, and she corrected me because I said there's a billion and one chance. She says no, it's actually
More than that.
400 trillion
One in a
chance.
trillion.
Wow, I can hear her voice saying that.
One.
I can like hear a voice of
Wow.
Tara saying
For
that.
you to be here,
See? Yeah, I
Yeah.
won in
you
400
already
trillion
won.
chance.
Wow.
You've already
Yeah,
won.
Already
you
won.
are a miracle. You are a miracle is what she's saying. So absolutely, and Dr. Tara, thank you so much because I've been actually using that every now and then when I get a chance. It's in my mind now. It's ingrained. So I appreciate that.
I think that's going to be one of those things I put on a card. You know, I have cards around and I put them down. And I remember that goes in alignment with what Eric, you had said on the opening of one of your rooms about it being a statistic. That you're
Hmm.
not a statistic, or do you remember what that was? It goes in line with what Dr. Tara was saying.
It was similar to that, just your statistical anomaly of being here. And so be appreciative and be grateful to be above ground. It's truly a miracle.
Yeah, statistical miracle. If you look at the
Absolutely. Any
stats, if
day
you
on
look at
this
the
side of the
numbers,
grave.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's beautiful. I love that. I love that.
Some people tend to focus on all the trauma and things and the struggles that our ancestors have felt and passed down generation to generation. But one of the things that you have to understand is that where there is negativity, there's also positivity. So, by the mere fact that we're here is a testament to that positivity. It's a
Hmm.
testament to the fact that yes, there is that struggle and the adversity that our ancestors and our elders experience, but if we understand that there's negativity to that positivity, all of that has come down now to us, and here we are, a manifestation of that positivity. We are that miracle as a result of all that has come down to us. And so I always look at it, you know following the tornado situation that I experienced. I am a tornado survivor. I could have been a victim, but I chose to be a victor. And
Hmm.
after that aftermath, I said to myself, by your faith and your DNA, you've got this. Let's press on. Let's move. Let's get going. Let's take this one step at a time. And then we'll come out of it. And we'll come out of it. And here we are. Here
You
we
know,
are.
that's powerful, Jay. What you say about some people being focused on trauma. One of the things I've learned from being in, some of the rooms where they are discussing that in detail. I mean, Eric, you discussed that in your work. I really have learned that people are often focused on the healing, but they have to walk through, talk through, write through the trauma. They have to get it out. Because I couldn't understand it at first. And I had to learn from some of the people who are writing about it and who are like hosting rooms about trauma. They're walking through it because they see the healing. They're focused on the healing and they know they have to go through that journey to get to it. Am I getting that right, Eric? They're really focused, even though a person maybe
Absolutely.
hasn't been through that
Absolutely.
trauma feels like, well, why are you focused on it? I know you've heard that about your book, Blood Force Trauma. It's like, why would you focus on the negativity? And you're like, I'm not. I'm focused on the healing, but I have to walk through it, right? Is that, am I getting it
Absolutely.
right?
There are folks that have absolutely there are folks that have come into the room and said that they disagree with the publication or the premise of the book because it glorifies trauma. And then I invite them to stay here. See, because here's the response. Um, because I'm walking in my healing journey, I invite them to stay. Uh, Please assess. If you feel like this is pornographic, if you feel like this is exploitation, if you feel like there are inappropriate comments or laughter, or please stay and assess because that's not what this is designed for. But if that's what you're receiving, please, the feedback is appreciated. And that's never the case. As you've been in the rooms, and the rooms are still up. If you ignore what has happened, if you're not willing to go through that process, go through that counseling, walk through that fire per se, as you said, Denise, you're gonna be repeating. You're gonna be doomed to repeat it, and so you'll get stuck in those trauma cycles and those. Um, we talked about it earlier in these self-defeating thoughts, right? These self thoughts, these limiting thoughts, and so it's really important to address your concerns and not ignore them.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And Dr. Tara says, remember, trauma is disconnection from self, acceptance, and unconditional love. Find the path back to self. And
And in finding that path, that's what the focus is that folks will say you're focusing on. Why are you focused on that if you're on the journey from healing from that? And that's okay. That person can't help you with your journey or cannot be an assistance in that point. But just keep going on your journey. Don't ever get discouraged healing. You are healing for you. This is about a relationship with you. There's nothing outside of you that needs to validate your healing. Your healing is the most important thing you can do. You have to put on your mask before you help anybody else put on their mask.
right,
Healing is the most important thing you can do.
absolutely. I'm not, and I think it's important to talk about what you're talking about and understand it from this perspective. We're not saying to ignore the trauma. We're not saying to this doesn't exist. You have to know where you've been to be able to know where you're headed, right? But that doesn't mean you have to stay there,
Mhm.
because then you're never going to move forward, right? I think that's the message that we want people to understand is you do have to recognize what's there, because you need to be able to focus on what really is the key to moving forward. There it is behind me, here it is in front of me, this is what I need to do. And so I really, really appreciate the message, Eric, and what you're trying to say. And Dr. Tara, she's she's saying she's got to go, but it's a great live, and I totally agree. She says blessings to you all, and blessings to
Blessings,
everybody,
Doctor.
really, this morning for joining us and listening to us.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. I think
Mhm.
there's um there's a saying that we say back home, and it's Mananasizus, and it means great day from God. A great day from God.
Hold on, was that Manana Shishubas?
See,
I'll put
seed
in the
zu,
notes.
yeah, seed zeus, manana seed zeus. Great
Manana Sizuis.
seed zeus. Zeus is the Chamorro word. It comes from the Latin dios, right? Um, and so we've adopted it, and we say Zeus, which is the word for God. And so we want to be able to recognize God in and give Him glory for the day that we are about to embark on. For us who are Christians, right? And for me, that's important. So um, everybody has their own thoughts and ideas about what we should focus on, but I think we've kind of laid the blueprint out this morning that we have to focus on our goals, on what's ahead, what's to come, and understand where we came from. Not
Hmm.
sit and, I'm going to use a old school word, ruminate in it, right?
Hmm.
Sit in that, and we just got to keep moving forward. Um, what are your thoughts on that, Brian? I see you shaking your head a lot. You must be deep in thought. Share your thoughts, brother.
You know, faith and fear can't exist in the same place. You got to focus your attention
There you
one
go.
place to the other. So, you know, if and
Yeah.
that's not just fear of the things that are happening, it's fear of the things that you believe will happen, right?
Hmm.
Focus, focus on what you want to happen, and the rest of it will take care of itself. I really hate I gotta jump off. I've got another room that I'm co-hosting, so I gotta leave you guys for a few moments. I hate to do it,
But it was a
fam.
mic drop.
Love everyone.
You left with the mic drop.
Yeah.
Have a phenomenal day. Fam
See,
Me too.
five
have a
forever.
great one. Fab Five forever.
Fam five. All right, brother.
We'll see you later.
We'll see you.
Even the avatar. Look.
He's
That's that avatar is new. It's just been there for like 2 days. You didn't happen to
Are
create
you
this one, did
serious?
you, Jay? You
I
didn't
did.
create
I
it.
did not. Let
That's
him.
not
Let him.
new. That's how I got started. That's not new. That's how I got
Well,
started.
did you
There's a
change
whole
it?
story. No, there's a whole story behind it. I'll share it with you.
Okay.
Let's
You gonna
hear it.
stay and share it now, or you gonna go and share it later?
No, I'm gonna go and share it later.
Oh, okay. I'm being clear. I'm sitting here waiting. I'm waiting
Bated
for
Just give
breath.
the people a tease, So
yeah.
on Monday
It was
we'll
like it
share it
was
with
the
you.
trailer to the story.
Right. It was
Uh,
perfect.
that's
Have something to
great.
look forward to this weekend. On Monday, it'll be story time with B, with Mr. Content. Everybody gets their own story. Everybody gets a chance to try to imitate Jay's greatness.
Oh,
Man,
that's
so
funny.
you got to stop.
That's funny.
Okay.
No, he
No,
doesn't.
I
No, he
don't.
doesn't. No, he
No, I
doesn't.
don't. I know.
Two against one on that one. No, he doesn't.
All
Let's keep
right.
that up,
I,
Eric.
I love y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate it. I
Love
appreciate it.
you.
I accept the flowers. Okay. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
There you
So,
go.
Harry says, great ritual session. Um, Deidris, thanks for another enlightening event.
Mhm.
Harry says again, Jay, have you been closer to the faith after the storm or the same? Oh man, closer actually, closer. Um, there's a little story in that as well, and I'll say it like this: I wanted to go back to church. I wanted to go back to church to basically thank God for allowing me to continue on my journey. Right, we're talking about journeys this morning, so I wanted to go back to church. Now, my schedule at work didn't allow me to do that for an entire year. And when I got yeah, when I had a chance to go to church, I would go. I would go, I would go. Didn't matter what time of day or whatever. I was like, there's church. Let me go. But on Sundays, the day that I wanted to go, I could not. But I realized that God was setting me up for the opportunity to understand the greatness of that longing, the greatness of the anticipation. And so it was in his divine time. My mom used to say it all the time. She says, some things don't happen in the time that you want. A lot of things don't happen in the time you want, but in his time, you will see the glory of his divine timing. And I I had to think about that because after a whole year of waiting, when I went to church, I was all ears and all heart. So sometimes there's a reason things don't happen in the season that you expect it to happen. And when it does happen, however, that blessing is far greater than what you ever anticipated because there was that time that you were in anticipation of it. And boy, it was a blessing. And so, man, Harry, thank you for reminding me of that. Um, it looks like Mohammed has joined us as well. He says, Jay, it's nice to see you live. Well, thank you. um, and he was saying, I guess he was referring to Brian before he jumped off. Brian, you are looking nice. So I don't know if hopefully that was when he was actually live and not the
He's talking
Look,
about the avatar.
the avatar. Same as the avatar. I'm
this is the
sorry.
first I seen the Avatar. That's why.
Yeah.
Um,
Take a
Okay.
look.
We'll
Take a
Okay.
hear
look.
the story about the avatar later. I love that.
And we'll hear that this weekend apparently.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be listening in for it. All right, for us, it is now 8 o'clock, it's Central Time for us. You've been with us since the start of what we came here to do and to talk
Mhm.
about it. Um, we'd like to just kind of go around the room and talk about some of our closing thoughts on what we spoke about today. So I'm not going to start it off. I'm going to think about it a little bit. Denise, ladies first.
Yeah, first, thank you, Harry. You dropped some gems. Like, for real, those were some gems. I hope I can see those comments next time because I would like to read those comments again. Dr. Tara, I know she's not there, but I appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. And I want to give a shout out to my folks over there in Nigeria. You know, that's where my folks are. So they show up. I have to say, hey, see y'all soon. You know, have fun now. Anyway, can do. So, anyway, I really, really think it's important. I just got one thing on this. I know it's important. It makes all the difference. There's two things. One, please be careful with how you talk to yourself. It's just so important. Be careful. Show yourself love, grace, patience. Imagine if we gave ourselves first the patience and tolerance we give to kids and then we give to other people. Sometimes we talk better to strangers than we talk to our own selves. So that's really important. And second to that, for me in my personal journey, it's so important who I allow close, who I talk to every day, who I listen to, who I allow in that what they call your inner circle. You know, the ones that keep you close, that you keep close, the ones that you'll be vulnerable with, that you can be yourself with. It's so important that those be people that you don't allow to take that inner voice and turn it into anything else. So, for me, you guys have been a part of that. My inner circle for anybody that's here. I keep it real, real small. I think that is so, so important. And I enjoy the journey. Hey, she back. Where the po-pos? She made it back. So that was all I was really saying. So happy to be here. Love the topic. And I love to be reminded to stay focused on that inner voice because that's my biggest challenge. It has nothing to do with other people most of the time. It's me. And I love the reminder. I remind myself daily, and I got the little card up there. Talk to yourself gently and give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for keeping it going. I heard somebody. Was somebody else up next?
I think
Brother
it was
Eric.
me.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Be your best friend. Be your own best friend. Right. We talked about talking in the mirror. We talked about high fiving yourself. We talked about patting yourself on the back. Encourage yourself. Push yourself. Right. That starts with you. And so that positive mindset, follow with that motivation, that push, that drive, that leaning forward. We talk about leaning forward and falling forward. Even when we fail forward.
Go
Right. You'll
forward
learn on the way down. You'll learn on the way down.
and be stronger on your way back up.
And being stronger on your way back up, right?
Yeah.
Fall down 8 times, get up 9, right? It doesn't matter that you fell down 8 times when you get up that ninth time, right? You
Yep.
persevered, you scarred, you've been through experience, you're better for it, right? You're
Exactly.
better for it. Shaming does nothing for us. One of us were talking about shame a lot earlier. Shame does, I think it was you, Sister Cassandra. Shame does nothing for us. Shame does nothing
Hmm.
for us. It's a completely wasted emotion, even though Sister Denise reminded us that we're going to do it at times, but we catch ourselves. And I think Cassandra said, say the exact sentence right after it. If you say something you can't, or you say a limited belief, just repeat right after it the positive, the truth. I can accomplish this spreadsheet, this thing at work that's been giving me a challenge, this problem at home that's been giving me a challenge, this
Right.
exercise goal that's been giving me a challenge. Whatever that challenge is has nothing to do with how incredible you are, how much of a miracle you are, how much your goal, your victory has already been won. So
Absolutely.
realize it. Use your language to support. the goals you want to accomplish, the vision that you see, speak into existence, and lean forward into it. And you will see people align themselves with you. You will see your vision narrow. Your focus will gather. You don't have to answer tomorrow's problems today. Lean forward in today. Do what you can with what you have.
Love that.
Start today. Absolutely.
And
Love it.
it's
Go
great
ahead,
stuff.
Jay.
No, and so I'm just going to wrap up with what I said earlier. The origin of the word focus, it comes from Latin, and it talks about it being a hearth or a fireplace. And so if you enter a room, that's what you're going to see. But at the same time, the fireplace is that warmth, right? And so if you focus on yourself, you're giving yourself that warmth, that your own hug, right? You're giving yourself a hug, that warmth that you're going to be feeling from focusing on what you need to focus on. So I think I'm going to end it with that and just say that, yes, we have to focus on what's ahead. We have to remember where we come from because that's how we know where we're headed. But don't stay in the past. Keep your eyes forward.
Right. Love it. Love it. Have you guys been seeing the comments as they've come through?
Yes,
There's
actually,
quite a few
I
here. Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah. I think the only thing we haven't addressed is Veronica. So
Her
I'm gonna
question.
let you answer. Yeah, go ahead and answer that one.
So, Veronica, this particular conversation is absolutely every Friday. We're here Tuesday through Friday. On Tuesdays, we talk about transformation. Wednesday is Wake Up Wednesday, and we talk about being intentional. Thursday is Thankful Thursday. We talk about gratitude. And Friday, we talk about focus. And we look at all of those things as tools, as ways of life, as ways of moving through the world so that our mindset is right, our focus is where it needs to be, and we're doing the things that we need to do in order to create the lives that we would like to have for ourselves. And we talk about, peeling back those layers and being honest with the person in the mirror. Jay was talking about doing what you, it might have been Eric, doing what you can with what you have. We waste a lot of our resources. We waste a lot of our resources. And we say, I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do that. There's no way I can get this thing or that thing done. But if we were to be honest and we would actually document what we do every day, we would find that time. People do it, financial planners do it with us all the time. They'll make you literally document every single dollar you spend. And at the end of a month or so, you see how much you spend on fast food or how much you spend on your favorite coffee or how much you spend on something. And then you find that money to take that class or to do whatever it is that you've been saying that you want to do. Our focus is the same way. If we were to when we tap in and we're paying attention to what we're paying attention to, we give ourselves the opportunity to recalibrate. One of my favorite words, we recalibrate. We can change our brains. We are not subjective to our thoughts. We can control our actions. I sent a funny video this morning to the fam five because my husband was walking in front of me. I had just stopped at the corner and talked to somebody, so some distance had gotten between us. And yesterday I talked about how I had this kind of angel on one side, devil on the other, talking in my ear. Because I was like getting frustrated that he was so far ahead of me. And no matter what I did, I didn't seem to be able to keep up yesterday. My legs just seemed like they shrunk. I could not keep up with his stride. And I had this angel going, but he's got you guys out here getting exercise. And I had this devil, look how far he is ahead of you. Somebody could snatch you and he wouldn't even know it. He wouldn't even, if you fail, he wouldn't even be able to break your fall. I mean, two conversations going on in my head at the same time. And I had a decision on which one I was going to focus on, which one I was going to lean into, which one I was going to allow to win. I could have had a whole fight with them over nothing if I listened to the wrong voice. And both of them were my voice playing in my head. And so this morning, when he got a little bit of distance between us, I took a video and I sent it to the fam five going, look at him, y'all. He's doing it again. He's at it again, but the angel is winning this morning. It was just funny. It was just funny that that came back to me. And because my mindset was better, I didn't even have the negative thoughts at all. It was just the something to, to laugh with the group first thing in the morning. But we are not subjected to our thoughts. We can control, we can redirect, we can redefine how we process. And not only can we should. We owe it to ourselves. We have a responsibility to show up as the best version of ourselves. Hopes and dreams are just that, until we start putting some energy somewhere. Where are you putting your energy? What are you focused on? Are you seeing the problems, or are you seeing solutions? Are you even looking for solutions for your problems? Or are you so accustomed to talking about what's wrong that that's just normal conversation? There's some people I really have to limit my phone calls. I can't stay on as long because I know it's just going to be negative conversation. Even if they don't mean it that way, they're not thinking about it as negative. It's the conversation that they're accustomed to having, and it starts to weigh heavy and bring me down. And it's like, all right, well, it's been good talking to you. We'll catch up again soon. I gotta go, because garbage in, garbage out. I only have to give what I consume. And so we have to be cognizant. We have to focus on what we allow in. And that's what we're talking about every Friday. So Veronica, hopefully all of you guys can rejoin us. We'll be back on Tuesday to talk about transformation. For those of you on TikTok and on Instagram, I have to apologize because you only had audio for quite a while, because I had to go and take care of something, and you guys can't see the screen where the Fab Five is. So I apologize for that. But for the fam, thank you guys so much. I could hear a little bit. And thank y'all for carrying on in my absence and doing what a fam does, covering one another, lifting each other up. I knew I could count on y'all, and you did what you always do. You elevate the space, and I appreciate you guys for that. So you guys, that's it for this week. Do any of y'all have rooms this weekend that we need to? Denise, you have something later today. Y'all want to share how
Absolutely.
we never do that. We never do that. So let's make sure from now on, each of you guys share where they can connect with you outside of this space.
So, are you talking about like on our social media, just our events or anything?
Yeah, whatever you want to share. Yeah.
Okay, so on Instagram, I'm at Relentless Writer, and I post about events and things like that there. And then I've been a travel writer for a while, so I try to teach other people how to do what I've done, which is make money from home or make money from anywhere in the world. So I talk about that on Instagram, and I'm actually teaching a class about that, make money from home, which Jay has helped me so much with. He's going to be helping me with another version of that this afternoon. So it'll be 10 a.m. California time, 12 a.m. Central time, 8 p.m. over in Kenya, because the young lady who's teaching with me is in Kenya. So that's something that we have going on. It's on my page, and I'm going to be growing that because so many people have said it's helpful. They need to improve their financial situation. And I have that class. It's just an hour and it's free. People can show up, get some tips, and then they can DM me and we take it from there. So thanks for
So
the
I'm
chance to share that, Cassandra.
absolutely, and I'm actually writing, as you guys tell me, I'm writing it in the comments, but my comments only go to Facebook and YouTube. So after this, if you guys would go to this feed on LinkedIn and drop your information there as well, that way everybody will have a chance to see it and follow. And there you can also just put the links direct to your rooms.
Yeah, and then I've been told I have to do better to communicate information. Definitely, like on social media, I'll just be on there having my little fun, won't post nothing, and then people go, "I didn't know about that you did this," and it's helpful information. And then I've learned so much about processing through the pain, processing through situations that you don't want to focus on. Instead of going around them, you walk right through them, and you keep your eyes on the prize. You keep your eyes on the healing. And a lot of that I learned from Eric, and we do a room together. I probably get the time wrong. I'm going to pass that to you, Eric, so you can share that. But it's a writing through pain workshop. And I'm telling you, you come out better on the other side. I've learned not to suppress and push down things that are negative, but rather look them right in the face, walk right through them with strength, power, and grace and faith. So, Eric, I'll let you have that to explain that event.
I appreciate that. We'll start again next week, Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll work on that an hour a night, but then we'll offer the class just like the one I will audit with you tonight, so that we offer them that course as well. And so I'm super excited, looking forward to your class tonight. I need everybody to be there. We'll be posting about it all week on the lineup, is where you'll find all of the audio events throughout the week that we'll be in. Also, we'll have the Soul Tank that we'll distribute on what we'll do as the collective and the Fan Five. So I appreciate all the support and love, the comments I've seen. I still see comments coming in. I'm going to pass it to Jay, and he's going to get to those comments. But I did just want to let folks know that the course tonight is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Please join us tonight. Sister Denise has spent so much time. We've all put time and effort in making sure that this represents the best of our expertise and how we can support and empower people. And so please join us this evening. We'll definitely be posting those times so that you can be there. And I'm so proud of you, Miss Denise, because that is, woo, Sister Denise. I'm just proud of you. I cannot wait to start class. I feel like a college student again, excited about class. One of my last class in undergrad, one of the last classes I really chose after choosing your field was the rhetoric of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X in the last year of their life. And
Mm.
it was one of those classes that you showed up early, you stayed late, you spoke to the professor, you got extra readings, it was the conversation at dinner that night. I ate with my professors. It was that small of a black community at my college to where, I was babysitting my professor's children. We really were tight, and still remain tight today. Um, and so it gives me that feel that I get to go learn from a sister again. I get to go learn from a friend again, someone that has my best interest at heart, and I'm really looking forward to the course. So please join us tonight, and
And
I'll
I,
pass
Jay.
it back to Jay.
yeah, so at at the behest of the Fam Five, we are doing every Saturday story time with Jay and friends, and it's at 9 o'clock Central Time. Um, come and do what we do on the islands, talk story. Um, that's what we're going to be doing. I share a little bit of music as well, some island music to kind of start it off. And then we close the room with island music. So it starts off your day. Now, this is not going to be something that's going to be um, too heavy as far as business and all of that. It's a Saturday, y'all. I'm here to talk story with you. You know, the some of the topics and some of the stories may be a little heavy, but at the end of it all, I want people to go away feeling like you visited my house back home on Guam. So, um,
And I promise you will. I hate to cut in, Jay, but your greatness is being undersold, and I kind of want to put a little bit into it. So when you come and hear story time with Jay, what you're going to walk away with is an experience. It almost feels like television. You'll be able to close your eyes and be whisked away to wherever he takes you. And he really has a masterful, wonderful job of laying words that help create the image for you of where the story is taking place, whether that's Southern Alabama or Guam. And so please join us on Saturday morning. Story time is a treat, a true treat.
An absolute treat. We were blown away. Jay has so many talents and they keep cropping up. Every time we have a different project that we're working on, he shows up in a different way and we get to know another layer of his talent. And we are requiring Jay to learn to accept his flowers. He throws them back at you. He ducks and he dodges. It's hard for him. He was shaking his head, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying right now. He is in boot camp. He is in learn to say thank you and receive my flowers boot camp, and not bat them away, because everything that we pour into you is in all sincerity. You keep blowing us away with the things that you're capable of, and I think we've only scratched the surface. And I think that's true of all of us. But for whatever reason, your star is shining really, really brightly right now, and so you've just got to take those flowers, man, and quit shaking that dome when somebody's trying to compliment you. No, no, no. Take it all in, feel it, because it's well deserved.
Wow. I
It
appreciate
also
it.
feels really obvious too. I think the part for me, Jay, is that it's so obvious that I feel like I'm not really doing anything other than calling out the obvious. I'm not reaching. Your talent is overflowing. It's incredible. I can't wait to interview Cletus. I can't wait to Cletus interview me. I can't wait to
And you
see,
guys have to
Cletus.
show up. You have to show up with story time with Jay so you can meet Cletus. I think we're gonna meet other folks. I think Cletus is the first of many characters that live within Jay. And we were blown away when we got to meet him. He turned the camera off and all we had was his voice. And like Eric said, he took us away. And it wasn't just us, it was other people in the room. And they've been asking about that. They wanted to know when it was going to happen again. So Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Central, it's going down. And we invite you guys to have the J experience along with us because it is amazing. And I think, when you're operating at that high vibration and your talents are pouring out, the people around you that are really for you, they start to it pulls us up too. I feel like we're all operating right now on 10 because each person is pulling up and pulling out the gifts and the talents of the other because it's a true collaboration. We want to see everybody win, so we're excited to see what Jay is going to do next and see how we can support. And it's rare that you'll go into any of these rooms. If you see one, you're going to see some combination of the five because we really do support one another. And a lot of times those are not our rooms. We're going into other people's rooms, but we bring the noise and we're messaging people in the background, hey, this is going on, y'all come and check it out. And so we believe, we live, we breathe collaboration. And it's just a magical time for us right now where great things are happening, and I'm just looking forward to what's next because every time we think we've hit something, we another layer unfolds and we're like, oh, we didn't even know we had that. We didn't know Cletus lived. We didn't know. We met Cletus a week ago. So there's just so much more to come, and we're excited about it. So learn to take it, brother.
Can Cletus say goodbye
Thank
today? Do
you.
you mind if Cletus
Yeah, why
comes
don't
out?
can
Since
we
we
give
keep
a
talking about
preview?
him,
Okay,
can
okay.
we
All
get it?
right. Let
Thank
me
you.
go. All right.
Appreciate it.
All right. I'm out here slopping hogs and y'all trying to pull me in. I got chores to do now, y'all. You youngins don't know nothing about that. Chores, you ended chores a long time ago. Chores don't stop for folks like me. I got to go out there and do what I got to do. And this is what somebody was talking about focus. Jay's got these speakers. I can hear all the way out to the field, and I'm hearing y'all talking about focus. Y'all don't know nothing about focus when you got glaucoma. I got glaucoma. You guys don't. And I'm trying to see what's out here in the field so I can slop these hogs good. Y'all don't know. Y'all just don't know.
Cletus, we love you, man.
It's just
Thank you for
Yeah.
coming in, Cletus, from Slopping the Hogs. I'm from the
right.
country. I know that's hard work. I know that's important work. Those hogs have to eat so they can continue to give us what we need. So we appreciate you for stepping away from your chores for just a moment and blessing us with y'all's presence. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was
Thank you,
Cletus
Cletus.
off the dome. He didn't know we were gonna
Oh,
ask him to do that. And it doesn't matter what the conversation is. When we invite Cletus in, he can just get right on in, and the fam five becomes fam six because Cletus coming and he got stuff to say. And he always gonna tell us young whippersnappers that we don't know what we're talking about. So we have to,
mm-hmm.
but you have to respect your elders, right? So if Cletus,
Right,
Cletus
right.
he a little rough around the edges, but we love him.
Oh,
Cletus has made my
No,
morning. All right, we are going to
absolutely.
call it a day. So, Fam Five, everybody, please go into Instagram, drop not Instagram, but in LinkedIn, and drop the links to your rooms. I have dropped for the YouTube and Facebook folks; they can see where you're going to be. Instagram and TikTok. If you guys have those accounts, do the same thing. Let's just share with everybody. We'll have our own call to action. We're going to share with everybody how they can connect with us in different spaces, different times besides these rooms, because we all do have a lot going on. And those of you who are listening, your call to action is to join us. Join us. Come in and see what else we have going on. And if we don't see you before, we'll see you back here on Tuesday morning at 7:15 a.m. Central for Transformation Tuesday. With that, y'all, we're
Follow
gonna
the lineup.
call it. Follow the lineup. Everybody, you guys on LinkedIn, if you go and find the lineup, you will find it so helpful because they've taken the time to pull together not just our rooms, but lots of rooms that are going on. It'll show you the
Lots of
date and
them.
time of those rooms. If you're old like me, you've heard of a thing called a TV guide. It's like your online guide that tells you what's happening when. So follow the
And you're
lineup,
not
and
old.
that way you're in the know of when lots of great rooms are happening. Did I hear somebody else say something?
Yeah, I said you're not
No?
old.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, oh, seasoned. I'm seasoned. I'm
Season,
coming for
yes.
Cletus. Cletus don't even know. Every time he is locking the hog, my heart flutters a little bit. I'm coming for Cletus one day.
I think you'll be ready though.
All right, y'all have a wonderful rest of your. He gonna be ready for me. All right, Cletus. Then you better put your money where your mouth is. So you guys have a wonderful Friday, a great rest of your weekend.
Have a
And
great
if
Friday.
not before, we'll
Whatever.
see you back here Tuesday. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you
Great
guys for
weekend.
joining and for hanging around.
Blessings. Take care.
Thanks,
Bless.
fam.